So let's start off by creating a canvas element on the page. So this will give us the element to draw to and also give it an ID. I'm just going to call it the my canvas object. So it's easy to select with JavaScript. And then the rest we're going to do with JavaScript. So I'm going to place the script tags just below the canvas element, so to ensure that canvas has an opportunity to load into the DOM before we try to manipulate it and select it. So we can use const, as this is going to be an object that we're going to be selecting and working with. And typically you're going to see canvas is just referred to as a variable name of canvas, and this is not a reserved word. So you can use canvas, or you could use any word or variable name that you want that makes sense. So using the document object, let's select the element. So you can use query selector, and there's a number of ways to make a selection of the element. So using query selector, because this is an ID value, we need to select it with my canvas and putting the hash in front of the ID name. And then once we've created the canvas object, we can also connect to it and be able to draw to it. So this is using the get context method that's now available within the canvas object, and get context. And this is a DOM canvas element. So basically it allows you to draw on the canvas. It exposes the canvas to a number of different methods that you can use to draw on it. And we're specifying the attribute of 2D. So once we've selected the canvas, we're ready to start drawing on the canvas. So let's draw, and specifying a fill style allows you to specify the color that you're going to use. So if I want to do a fill style of red, I can select the CTX and apply the fill style property value of red to that. So that means that what we're drawing is going to be in a red color, and specify that the rectangle is going to be red. So we want to create the rectangle and draw it within the center of the canvas. So let's set some default height and width for the canvas object, and it already does come with a default value. So if I console log out canvas, we can see some more information about that element object. And right now I'll just remove out the fill style. So we're not going to see anything, but we've got the canvas is drawn on the page. The default is going to be 300 by 150. That's going to be the default size of the canvas object. So let's go back in, and we're going to adjust the canvas object size. So you can apply some attributes to it. So setting an attribute, let's set the height for canvas and set that to 300 pixels. And as well, you could apply this attribute within the HTML. So now when we refresh, we've got a height of 300 pixels for the canvas element. So you can see whenever I hover over the object within the HTML dev tools, it provides a width of 300 by 300. So that's already going to be the default size. But usually, just to be sure what my width is going to be, I like to set that as well. So also, let's apply some styling to the canvas object, since we've got it as an object with JavaScript. And we can update the background color, and let's set the background color of this element, and we'll set it to be black, so we can easily see it on the white background of the screen. So this is just setting the style property of canvas, and now you can see within the canvas element we've got a height and a width set, as well as a style value of a background color that's been set, and that's all been done with JavaScript. And you could also do that within the regular HTML. So now we've got the canvas, and we've got fill of red. So what we want to do is draw a rectangle dead center within the canvas object. So using the fill rectangle value, and it's expecting 4 parameters within the function. So we need an X value, which is the horizontal value from the left-hand side, the Y value, which is the vertical value from the top, and width, so whatever the width of the object that we're building, and the height of the object that we're building. So we need all of those parameters in order to draw on the canvas. So let's do 100, 100, 100, and 100. So what do you think is going to happen here? What do you think our output is going to be on the canvas? Remembering that the height is going to be 300 pixels and the width is 300 pixels. So we've got essentially a square 300 by 300. We're starting from left 100, top 100, and we're drawing a square. Well, it's rectangle, but it's going to look like a square because they're even sides of 100, 100. And before we try that, this actually should be full rectangle. So there was a little bit of an autocorrect there. So let's try it out. And that draws us a red square in the middle of canvas. So go ahead, try it out within your own editor and draw the rectangle in the middle, and then also move it to the bottom right corner and the top left corner. And I'll show you the solution for that. So to move it to the bottom right corner, we're not going to touch the height and the width, but we are going to touch where we're positioning it. So we're moving it 200 pixels now off the left and 200 pixels off the top. And we can also update this. So if we want it in the top left-hand corner, that value is just going to be 0, 0. So that will move it in the top left-hand corner.